Alright, so this is just going to be a quick little video of me explaining why I prefer the flying mushroom farm design as shown in Sweet Booty's video opposed to the running farm that he prefers. So yeah, I'm just going to talk about like why I choose, like I'm making the flying farm right now as you see. I've not made a full layer, so I'm planning on making several. Uh, and so yeah, I guess I'll just talk about why I prefer the flying farm over the running one while I build it. So essentially, the reason I prefer it is because it's better for infant harvesting. So if you were to make both designs on your island, then well, both designs are good in different ways. So the running farm design has more mushrooms total. So if you were to harvest both farms entirely through one time, then you would get more mushrooms from the running design. Okay, because that's just because there's a higher density of mushrooms. There's more conflict with the spawning of mushrooms on the flying design. So therefore, less spawn overall. So at first, it would seem like that is the better farm design, which is what I thought at first. But that was before I had considered this design. This design is better suited for infinite farming because it has a much faster regrow rate. According to my limited testing on, well, not limited, but still not. Let me actually, let's go get that testing right now. So, if I go over here to the design, um, I tested the regrowth rates a little bit for running design, but not nearly as extensively as I tested them for the flying design. So essentially, what I did was I just spent a couple hours one day just seeing how long it took for the flying farm to regrow to see how many layers it would take to get an infinite farm. The answer is somewhere in the 20s or 30s, but you can get most of the farms back with. Is this gonna work? Oh, this is. Oh, that's loading. Huh. Yeah, no, this isn't. Oh, it's like. Oh, this is a 1.16 world. Oops. Let's hope nothing broke. Let me go switch to 1.16 really quick. Oops. I'll just Alt F4. Hmm. That's that's not good. All right, give me a second. All right, so we're on 1.16, and let's hope it didn't broke. Mm, let's just do that just in case. Is it broke? I think we're good. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Everything is just fine. All right. So this was all my research for a video on how many layers of this farm would it take to become an infinite farm. So I just tested how many mushrooms grew in 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, up to 12 hours. Wait, nope, up to however many. I tested, yeah, I just tested a bunch of different amounts. So essentially, you would need about for the flying farm you to make it completely 100% infinite, like fully grown by the time you're back, somewhere between 21 and 30 layers. Because it takes about 20 minutes to harvest a layer, and then times 3 per hour. So, yeah. I've not harvested a full layer myself. This is according to underscore risk, the top mushroom collection. He helped me with my research on this. He built one of these farms on Hypixel, and he's the reason I actually came up with this design. Huge shout out to him. He said that it takes exactly just about 20 minutes, exactly just about 20 minutes to harvest one full layer. So, yeah, that means that for every hour that it grows, it's 3 layers. So, this is just a mushroom farm with 32. Why am I dropping so many frames? So, this is 32% of the surface area of a full layer farm. So, if you wanted to scale this up, these numbers that I have here up to a full layer farm on Hypixel Skyblock, just multiply all the numbers by 3 and you'll be close enough. So, in 20 minutes on average, this flying farm grows about 120 mushrooms. And then, so that's just in the first 20 minutes on average 120. Now, if I were to go over to here, which is where I have my growth testing for all of the other mushroom farms, I'm hoping I still have some of the data from a while ago on the first 20 minutes for the flying farm that Sweet Booty made. Okay, that's the middle farm, which means it's the middle layer of signs right here, and I'm not sure why I'm dropping so. I really hope my game doesn't crash. So here we have the middle farm. This is the type that Sweet Booty made and is the most compact. It's 2 wide space with the mushrooms here. He put all. I have the mushrooms alternating between red and brown and then red and brown, but he just had them all brown on this side and then all red on this side. That should not make a difference just because if we look, so each mushroom needs to be in a center of a 9 by 9 area. So no matter, based on how big the 9 by 9 area is, no matter which side the mushrooms were on, it would still barely not conflict, aside from these ones, but that was still going to conflict if it's on the side. So it doesn't matter that he removed the alternation of the mushrooms. So the middle farm, in 20 minutes, it grew 11.3% of the farm. So that means it grew, 641 minus 576. Let me do the math on that. I don't need a calculator to subtract two numbers. 641 minus 76. It grew 65 mushrooms in the first hour. Well, actually, it's the first 20 minutes, I think, because, yeah, see, 20 minutes, 40 minutes, 1 hour, because I was dumb when I did this. Yeah. Watch the other videos if you actually care, but you don't. This is, these are the actual times. These are incorrect. Ignore these. So after 40 minutes, it grew 696, which is another 55 mushrooms. So that's about an hour and 20 or 120 mushrooms after it started in 40 minutes. And then in 1 hour, it grew 760 and started with 576. So that means that it grew about 190 mushrooms or so, 185, about that. So yeah, the reason why these numbers are weirder than that one is because the way I can harvest this farm, the way I harvested all the farms is by I would delete all of the pods and then count the mushrooms that dropped on the ground. That's why this thing's over here. So with the other farm, the flying farm, the spreading mushrooms are at the same layer as the podzol, so they get removed and they don't drop on the ground. But because the spreading mushrooms on these farms are above the podzol, they also fall on the ground and we have to remove them to figure out how many we're actually growing. So all in all, in 1 hour, the farm that Sweet Booty made grows about 190 mushrooms in 1 hour. But then if we go over here to the flying farm, we see that that number is largely different, and I believe it should be somewhere around 300 or so, because on average it would grow over 100 mushrooms in the previous 20 minutes times 3, so that would be, in total, in 1 hour it would grow 375.6 on average. So that means that in 1 hour this grew almost twice the mushrooms that one did. So this is much easier to build an infinite farm for. Actually, those numbers are different than I thought they were. I originally thought that it was 3 times as well, but no, it's only twice as fast. So yeah, according to my math, the best way to make an infinite farm is to make this design and make it about 6 layers thick or so. The more layers you have, the better. But at about 9 layers, it starts dropping in efficiency that it grows. Honestly, I would not suggest going above 12 layers, because then you'd build 4 extra layers for, on average, like 50 extra mushrooms. The most I've ever seen it grow is with 30 layers at 1254, but then that's almost the same at 21 layers. So if you want it to be fully grown, go with 30 layers. Maybe probably less than that, but I didn't want to wait, just because each time I tested, like, for this, I had to wait 5 minutes. So I had to do that 3 times, because 3 signs. Oh, wait, no, that was the 5 minute. But yeah, so I didn't really want to test this, so I didn't, just because I figured no one would be crazy enough to do that. But yeah, so the reason Sweet Booty prefers that farm and I prefer this farm is because I say this one, just in conclusion, this one grows mushrooms a lot faster. Plus, I believe it's easier to harvest because you can just go like this. I'm not sure how Sweet Booty harvests his farms, but I've never had any problems harvesting this. So like on 1.8 you'll see that I have a keystrokes mod and I just hold W and look at about this one is west to east. So when harvesting east to west here, let's do no, let's just do this. Let's have it grow for some time. What's a good time? Let's do how about I don't know, let's just do 20 minutes because that's an easy number. And so I'm just talking to fill up time as I bring a timer up on my phone because I don't want to have to mess with the redstone. So all I gotta do is just I push this button at the same time as I start a stopwatch on my phone, and then I just wait for 10 seconds in real life. And I push this button right as it hits 10. So 8, 9, 10. That's about how much it grew in 20 minutes. When I actually did the testing for these signs, I used redstone, so it was exactly 10 seconds. But I didn't want to have to mess with that. I mean, I could have just added a repeater apparently, but oh well. So, like, if I harvest this, if you'll see on the right side of my screen, it tells me it just grew 151 mushrooms, and that was in 20 minutes. So, if this had no mushrooms on it at all, and then I harvested one extra layer, this would have another 151 mushrooms by the time it regrew. But if I harvested this mushroom, the middle one over here, and for these after letting it grow for the same amount of time, then it would. I actually forgot how to use the setup because it's been a while. So yeah, let's actually just push the button and see what happens. Uh, this, that's lag. This, I think it's this, this. Okay, that's the mushrooms that were already there. This is still not right. Love that. Okay, let me just get rid of all these mushrooms. Give me 1 minute. Hope I'm not breaking things, because then that would be bad. Alright, so I just manually filled in all these mushrooms with air, so then it's just the spreading mushrooms left. Forgot how inefficient this setup was, and I'm so glad I swapped to that one. So the reason there were already mushrooms on this farm was because when I set it to grow for a certain amount of time, that when I harvest this, I destroy all the podzol, but that means I have to place the podzol and the mushrooms back from somewhere. So I have a copy of this mushroom like somewhere up there, and so I just copy it back down to here. But the problem is, when I'm having these mushrooms grow, the mushrooms up there are growing too, because I'm too close. Which is why I had that one tested over there, and so the one I copy it from is actually up there. So it's completely out of the distance that it can grow, and yeah. So that way, whenever I copy it, it is only the mushrooms that have not grown. And also that I can just copy one layer and it'll only have the spreading mushrooms, not the ones that already grew. Okay, so I'm just gonna let this go for 30 seconds, and I don't have the, wait, do I? 1 hour ago, that's not 1 hour, that's actually, this is completely wrong, 100,000% wrong. Alright, so, here's what I did wrong here. Let's do control, I need to mess with this. Pick block. By the way, if you guys don't know, let's pick a key. V. If you hold control when you do the pick block thing, it also copies the NBT data. So essentially, this already has a command in it, because I did that. So, let's get a button, put it here, and now, so the way I get it to be exactly 10 minutes, I should have 20 repeaters. I'm actually going to count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is 24 repeaters. Don't know what kind of drugs I was on when I made this. So this is now exactly 24 tick repeaters. Divided by 2, that's 10. So this one is exactly 0.4 seconds. 0.4 seconds, that means this together is 0.8 seconds. So I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to make it all 0.2 times 10 plus 0.8 times 10, which is 1 times 10. So yeah, let's just hook this up really quick, and now what I can do is, hopefully this is the right command, yeah, give me random tick speed. Alright, so now this will let it grow for exactly 20 minutes, hopefully. I mean, no, this is 100% accurate, yeah. And so now it stopped growing, as you can see. So the game random tick speed, if you have not seen my other videos, is basically how long it grows for, or how fast the game grows. It also controls a bunch of other stuff, but for now, let's just say that's the speed at which mushrooms grow. So, you have here that it starts with 576 streams planted. So if I harvest it, right, I gotta push several buttons now. I do this, don't press that button. Did I reset it beforehand? Yeah, I think so. I hope so. If not, yeah, I'll just hope I did it beforehand. Alright, so 640 mushrooms, and then we subtract 576 from that. That is about 64 mushrooms that grew in 20 minutes. So, yeah, that's not great. That's, again, about half on average of what we get from the other farm. So, if we were to grow the same amount of mushrooms on, like, if we were to have the same amount of layers on both farms, then yes, this one would have more mushrooms. But this one would also regrow twice as fast. So you would need half the space. Plus, you can. Well, wait, nope, I was wrong. About to say something that was factually incorrect. Never mind. So yeah, you get twice as many mushrooms with this, but you get twice as fast regrow with this. So personally, I go with the faster regrows, and I have to build less layers. Also, I feel it's easier to fly while farming, just so I don't have to turn as much, because this, I'd have to run all the way down, then run all the way back, then run all the way. When this, I can just do half that. So yeah. That's basically it. That was hopefully a clear explanation. Let's go back onto Hypixel. Not on Badlands, so I don't have my keystrokes or anything, but so yeah, when I do this farm, I find that I just much prefer to use the flying farm. Also, I'll show you guys how I farm the mushrooms. This is my old cane farm that I'm lazy. Okay, there we go. And so, shoot, I don't have any mushrooms down yet. Let's go get some mushrooms and pretend they grew themselves. Yeah, so then we can just use it for growth. Alright. If we can, this is why you don't play Hypixel on 1.16. Maybe I just have a poop computer, who knows. Alright. So yeah, we have some mushrooms. Now we go over to the farm. And then, yeah, I'll just place all these mushrooms down really quick, and then yeah, I'll cut back to when I'm actually about to harvest it. I'm literally just going to do this for a little bit. So yeah. Edit this out of the video. All right. All right, so all these mushrooms just somehow miraculously grew on this piece of podzol that I happened to make. Huh, what a coincidence. Anyways, let's just show how to harvest this and why I like it. So I'm gonna introduce you all to my pride and joy. This is my hoe. My friends call it the worst financial decision I have ever made because I recombobulated a diamond hoe just so I could get 1% extra farming XP and 3% extra double crop chance. But I choose to say not a poor financial decision, more of a investment. So yeah, let's just show how I harvest this. So here's what I do. It's very complex. I literally am just holding down W and right click. That's it. I have at about 61.5 degrees. I typically find that between the 61 and 62 degree range is where you can get the fastest move speed as well as the get 100%. Oh, I'm not in bad line. I was gonna show you all the that I hadn't missed a mushroom, but and I get every single mushroom. I've set this up in two ways. One where it's more dense mushrooms, and then the other where it's more spread out. As you can see, in the entire row, I missed one mushroom. So yeah, it works well. This farm is going north to south, so 61.5 degrees is what I typically do. If I were to do east to west, I don't know, somewhere about here, I guess. Just subtract 61.5 from 180, so about 40, 140 something degrees, no, 139 degrees or so, 138. So that's about here, maybe. The more you face towards the end of your farm, the faster you'll go. But the more you face this way, the more mushrooms you'll get because you'll be going slower, so you'll have more time to break them. But yeah. Um, yeah. That's why I prefer the flying farm. Faster regrow time, similar amount of mushrooms. Less, but still about 2/3 the amount of mushrooms. Not bad for twice the regrow time. And also, I can use the Builder's Wand on it. And I just got to take out 2 layers of podzol and then bring some down. But yeah, that's why I prefer the flying farm. Hope you all enjoyed. Happy farming. This is just some really good stuff that I forgot to mention in the video. I know the video is already a lot longer than I intended it to be, so I'll try to keep this brief. So I'm not saying that one version of farm is better than the other. I do not think that that is true at all. I think that each farm is good for different types of people. So if you are planning on just harvesting the same farm constantly nonstop over and over again, you want to use the flying farm because this one regrows a lot faster. But if you are planning on harvesting the farm one time and then you AFK overnight or something, and then you just are waiting in between harvests, you'll definitely want the running farm that Sweet Beauty made, as that one can be made a lot more compact than this one, and so that way you can fit a lot more mushrooms into the same area, So when you are done with your AFK session, all of your you'll have a lot more mushrooms to go through. So yeah, non-stop harvesting, flying farm, wait then harvest, do the running farm. All right, that's it.